Hey everybody. Hey. How y'all doing? MJ Central here with the craziest moments of all time and shit in the courtroom. Boy, if it was me, I'd be doing the same shit too, probably whatever the fuck they let the people doing.
Glad Force Flex Max Strength trash bags are
Fuck
25% more
this
durable.
motherfucking commercial. They ain't paying me.
Saying to pull the trigger to kill your sons, masturbates to memory.
What? What the fuck you say?
Saying to pull the trigger to kill your sons, masturbates to memory.
Huh.
She
Damn.
just gave me 40 years. Sir, listen. You just gave me 40 years. Well, guess what? So,
Oh shit. What happened? Yeah, 40 fucking years, bro. Shit. Hey, that woman back there smiling and shit. She found shit funny. Oh, bitch. Look at it. Look at her. Evil bitch, you the one that threw him in here. Oh, I swear women ain't shit. Oh shit. My bad. About to gonna continue. Evil, just evil, man. Courtroom consequences.
This is Jaleel Smith Riley, who is facing charges for murder in Michigan. Smith Riley was involved in an armed robbery on November 16th, 2013, in Norwood, where he and two other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was 20-year-old Portia Brooks and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin. Smith Riley knocked on the window with a handgun and forced Martin, who was in the passenger seat, out of the car. Jaleel then proceeded to go through Aaron's pockets and demanded his cash. Once Jaleel had taken every dollar Aaron had, he then took his life with a shot to the head, causing permanent brain damage. However, Jaleel wasn't done there. Right after shooting Aaron, he then leaned into the car and
Could I get the 10-piece chicken McNuggets?
Wait, no, Big Mac.
Sir?
Oh, I'm still here.
Get one favorite like a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Right now at McDonald's.
This commercial's not paying me to ad. Get off my shit.
fired at Brooks, who was sitting in the car, twice,
Damn, so he
and she
killed
died
both
3
of them.
days later. Fortunately, Martin survived the shooting, but sustained serious injury. Before the judge announced the sentence that Jaleel would be facing, Portia's family got the chance to address the jury and the man who took their daughter away from them. Sharon Brooks, Portia's mother, brought the box containing her daughter's ashes to the courtroom, as she had for previous court dates. She stated that Smith Riley had ruined her life and killed her identity as a mother of 3.
This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others and life. But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone.
Tia Marie Brooks, Portia's sister, also spoke emotionally
Damn, I wish I was there for sis.
and requested that Smith Riley be handed the maximum sentence.
Nigga, what you crying for? The fuck you crying for?
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Then, Aaron,
Yeah.
who Jaleel shot in the head, spoke to the court.
She's still here with us, and she will always be here. So she's our angel looking over us, helping us get through these hard times.
As if Smith Riley's crime was not outrageous enough, his reaction to his sentence was even more dramatic. During the trial on August 11th, 2021, Smith Riley pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and attempted murder. However, he later decided to withdraw his guilty plea against the advice of his attorneys.
Well, from the beginning, this was an emotional day for the families of both of these victims, but when Smith Riley decided to reverse his plea halfway through the sentencing hearing, they were shocked And his attorneys were too, in part because it puts the death penalty back on the table.
Prior to receiving his sentence, Jaleel was heard apologizing in court as what appeared to be a last attempt at showing remorse. Additionally, Jaleel's attorney made a final attempt at saving face.
I just want to come home someday.
Can't go back in time and undo what you did.
Despite the tears and the apologies, Judge Charles Kubicki, presiding over the case in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court, denied Smith Riley's request and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The 23-year-old monster that is currently rotting behind bars collapsed to the floor of the courtroom.
All right, y'all. I just want y'all to remember what the fuck he's saying about this dude. He's a monster for killing two people. If you don't have the same energy for a white person who did the same or not worse, a monster.
Upon receiving
putting
his
dislike
sentence,
on this video,
Smith Riley
dislike
also
just
received an
because of
additional
that.
sentence of 11 years for a related attempted murder charge. However bad you think Smith Riley's case was, it can't be compared to the infamous case of T.J. Lane. This is T.J. Lane, who's facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. T.J. Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety after committing a horrific crime at Chardon High School in Ohio. On February 27, 2012, the Ohio Police Department responded to multiple calls from teachers and students that there was an active shooter in the building.
High school, we had shots fired.
Oh, school shooter.
Multiple gunshots. 911.
Chardon High School, we need police up here. Was there someone in the building with a gun?
According to police reports, Lane entered the school and headed to the cafeteria. It was here that T.J. Lane opened fire and killed 3 students and severely injured 3 others. 6 people got physically harmed at the hands of T.J. Lane that day, but hundreds, if not thousands of people left Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, with intangible pain that will last through eternity.
Glances of your friends laying all over the place, there's blood, there's people screaming, everybody's running in different directions, and you're just trying to get out.
I saw a kid holding a gun pointing it towards a group of kids.
Do you remember the look on the gunman's face?
I never looked at his face, I just looked at the gun. I still can't think about it all because it's just so scary.
Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community.
Shit.
He was swiftly apprehended and charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated
This
murder,
monster
and 1
is
count of
smiling in
felonious
court,
assault.
though.
As if the murders were not bad enough, Lane showed no remorse for his actions at the trial.
Where's
and
that
refused
monster?
to cooperate with his attorneys.
This
Instead,
monster.
he appeared in court wearing a T-shirt with the word "killer" written on it, and even gave the middle finger to the victims' families. During the sentencing hearing, Lane made a shocking statement.
Saying pull the trigger to kill your sons, masturbates to memory.
The statement caused outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire nation. The judge presiding over the case, Judge David Fury, described Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless, and sentenced him to 3 life sentences in prison without parole.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lane didn't even bat an eyelid when he heard his sentence. He remained emotionless and unremorseful. Lane's behavior and reactions were likened to that of a psychopath. However, not every...
Now that's a fucking monster. That's a fucking monster.
Hey, you what?
We own this story. This guy's just out there.
You really think he's...
Every convict remained emotionless after hearing their sentence, like in the case of Ryan Stone. This is Ryan Stone, who is facing charges for going on a crime splurge throughout the nation, including kidnapping and assault, all of which was captured and broadcasted live by helicopters.
Look like he hit the fuck
The
out
chase
that
began
woman.
after Stone hijacked a car with a 4-year-old boy inside and drove off,
Damn.
leading police on a dangerous pursuit that lasted more than an hour. During the chase, Stone drove up to 100 miles per hour and was reckless in every regard of the word. He's seen here overtaking an innocent civilian on the highway, throwing them out of the car before carrying on in the new vehicle. But that's not all. Watch here as he exits the highway, opens the car door at full speed, then slams onto the brakes right before crashing into another car parked in an intersection. Investigators believe this was a sorry attempt at another carjacking. Stone also crashed into several other vehicles during this chase, causing numerous injuries. At one point, he even came inches from taking out a policeman who was trying to place stop sticks on the highway. He eventually crashed the stolen car and attempted to flee on foot.
Oh shit. Yeah. Who was trying to take off? Boy, hey, you gone. Better go and take off that jacket, boy. That shit's slowing you down.
However, he was quickly apprehended by police and placed in a holding cell. As if Stone's actions weren't bad enough, he was caught on tape boasting about his actions to a friend who visited him in the cell.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah, my lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia. If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
Ryan also believed that he should be compensated for his viral car chase because the news channels are using his car chase footage.
I'm gonna contact Channel 7 News or have you contact Channel 7 News or somebody. You guys aren't getting paid using my name.
Stone was charged with 26 crimes.
Nigga, ain't no way you think you finna get paid off this shit.
Assault and eluding police. Stone's sentencing
ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
Many of his victims and their families can be heard speaking about the impact of his crimes on their lives. Some spoke of physical injuries they had sustained in the crash, while others described the emotional trauma they had experienced due to the incident. Stone spoke at the hearing. He cried, expressed remorse for his actions, and apologized to his victims. Isn't it ironic that in the same week, Ryan was captured in the video on the left, laughing and boasting about his crimes, and on the other video on the right, he's seen crying and begging for sympathy from the court, as he finally realized the severity of his actions. Despite his apology, the judge in the case was unmoved, noting that Stone had shown a pattern of criminal behavior and that he posed a threat to society. The judge handed down the maximum sentence possible. Stone pleaded guilty to all charges. And
what's crazy is it be the motherfucking judges who be on that shit too. Don't take the name.
Was sentenced to 160 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Stone was in tears when he learned he'd spend the rest of his life in prison. Stone blamed his actions on drugs, and his show of remorse might be sincere. However, some convicts are rather shocked by their sentences, like in the case of Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari, who are facing charges for first-degree murder in Michigan.
Damn.
Seth and Tatiana were the parents of 10-month-old Mary Ann Welch, who police said died of
Oh shit. Y'all finna tell me these motherfuckers done killed the fucking baby.
malnutrition and dehydration due to neglect on August 2nd, 2018, in Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan. Child Protective Services
So y'all left the baby there to starve
since 2014 after THC was found in the system of their firstborn child. Mary weighed only 8 pounds at the time of her death. Her parents refused to seek medical help, citing religious reasons and distrust of the medical system. The family home was found to be unhygienic during the initial investigation, with evidence of vermin, insects, and mold. The doctor who performed the autopsy confirmed.
So that mean they was just nasty as fuck to begin with, unhospitable for any type of child.
Confirmed that Mary was suffering from chronic malnutrition caused by withholding food and water. Seth's call to 911 revealed their level of neglect for their daughter.
And he said, when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right? Yes. And that's when you consulted with a lawyer? Yep. Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh, yeah. He was dead as a door now.
When in court, the prosecutors made sure to highlight just how neglectful the parents were of their 10-month-old child.
You didn't know that. And don't tell me you didn't intend that because you didn't get her little tush out of that crib. You left her in there. You ignored her because she was an inconvenience.
The couple was initially charged with felony homicide murder in August 2018. In June 2020, Seth Welch was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2021, Fusari testified that
I guess these be the parts of the justice system actually do their job on this shit.
Yeah, you. Don't you want to play something different?
Bring it up.
Cause I'll be like, boy, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
her husband was abusive and that she was not allowed to take Mary to the doctor.
He got very angry with me. He smacked me across the face. And
God
told
damn,
me
for real?
that he knows how He said, you know what the I think about doctors. I told you Mary is fine. She's fine, now drop it.
In November 2021, Fusari was sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder and an additional 15 to 30 years for first-degree child abuse.
Yeah, baby girl.
When the judge
you right along
pronounced
with
their
him.
life sentence, Seth's mouth dropped open in shock, and Fusari started crying. For many people, this
Dumbass
couple got what they
motherfuckers.
deserved. However, this wasn't the only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice. There was the case of Esteban Carpio. This is Esteban Carpio, who is facing charges for murder in Rhode Island. Carpio is an American murderer who killed a detective at a Providence police station in 2005. Providence Police Detective Sergeant James L. Allen and another detective were questioning Carpio at the Providence Police headquarters for accosting an 85-year-old woman, Madeline Gata. According to police reports, the second detective left to the third-floor interview room to retrieve some water. It was here where things took a turn for the worst.
Carpio had asked for water, and the two detectives that were in there with him, one left to go get the water and locked the door behind him. And they tragically heard Detective Allen say, "I think he's going to kill me. He's got my gun. He's going to kill me." By the time they broke it down, the officer was dying, and Carpio had jumped out the window.
However, he was recaptured a few minutes later amid struggles with the police. But that was not the end of the drama. Due to the risky jump and struggles with the police, Carpio sustained injuries. When it came time for his sentencing, Carpio came to court wearing a mask designed to keep him from spitting at or biting others. His face was red, bruised, and swollen.
I
When
thought
he
I
appeared
was
in
tripping.
court, his family members screamed and accused the police of brutality. The family believed that they forced him to wear the mask to try and hide the brutal revenge beating they gave Carpio behind closed doors. In fact, Carpio's aunt went on live TV to say this.
It's police brutality. He was mentally ill, and he needed help, and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried, and he didn't deserve this.
However, Providence Police Chief Dean M. Esserman argued that Carpio's injuries were sustained when he jumped from the third-floor interview room and resisted arrest. The FBI later investigated the police, but it was
Damn, bro. I ain't know I could get 2 black eyes from jumping out a window. That's fucking crazy. Wow. Wow.
concluded that they did not use excessive force.
No civil rights violation.
That
when
boy eyes and
injuries
see her
are,
damn near shut.
Incident to arrest. Meaning, if he's fighting the police officers, the officers have the right to use whatever force necessary to subdue the subject.
On June 27th, 2006,
Bruh, all y'all gotta do is get on top of this nigga like y'all always do. And just put his hands behind his back. It's a bunch of y'all. Handcuffs are made for a reason. Tasers are made for a reason. Shit. But instead, y'all beat the fuck out of his ass. Just the one instance I guess y'all didn't want to shoot a nigga, huh?
a jury found Carpio guilty of the murder of Detective Allen and the stabbing of Madeline Gata.
Damn.
Despite his plea of insanity, Carpio was sentenced to life in prison without parole. At first, he showed little reaction to his sentence and remained unmoved. However, later, in an attempt to win over the jury, he was heard apologizing for his actions.
Every day, I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
Carpio claimed he was suffering from mental illness at the time of the crime, but the court didn't entertain the claims. However evil you think Carpio is, how does he compare to Kayla Mendoza, who tweeted this the same night she took 2 girls' lives in a deadly drunk driving crash? This is Kayla Mendoza.
Damn, she fine, though.
That's count 1 and count 3. How do you plead?
Who is facing charges for double manslaughter, among other charges, in Florida. The 20-year-old woman who was not licensed to drive was convicted of the murder of 2 women while drunk driving in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on November 17, 2013. Before the crash, Mendoza went to a local bar with her manager and colleagues from her job, where she drank 2 fishbowl margaritas.
Damn, that's a
few
big
hours
ass.
later, Mendoza got behind the wheel of a Hyundai Sonata and
Drunk
drove
as
the wrong
fuck.
way on the Sawgrass Expressway.
Kayla hopped into her car and went speeding the wrong way down the freeway at more than 80 miles an hour. She collided head-on with another car, killing these 2 beautiful young women, Marissa Catronio and Caitlin Ferrante, both just 21.
Mendoza was charged with 2 counts of DUI manslaughter while impaired, 2 counts of DUI manslaughter with an unlawful blood alcohol level, 2 counts of vehicular homicide, and 2 counts of driving without a license causing death. Mendoza's then boyfriend owned
Hold
a
on.
Hyundai Sonata.
2 counts. That last one didn't make no sense. So that all happened because she didn't have a license. 2 counts of vehicular homicide and driving without a license. Some of these charges, they coincide with each other. But I guess driving under the influence, impaired, and just killing a nigga with the car ain't the same thing.
Death. Mendoza's then boyfriend owned the Hyundai Sonata involved in the crash and explained that the too drunk to care tweet was directed toward him.
The too drunk to care tweet was for my boyfriend because he was upset I was out, hanging out with them and with Marcelo drinking because he wanted me to be home.
The Ferrante and Catronio families filed lawsuits against Mendoza, her boyfriend, the T-Mobile store where Mendoza was employed, and the Tijuana tax.
Why y'all coming after all these other people? God damn. You trying to sue them for providing the drinks. You trying to sue who else? Hold on. She trying to sue somebody?
Catronio families filed lawsuits against Mendoza, her boyfriend, the T-Mobile.
Her boyfriend, who didn't even know she had. Trifling ass motherfuckers done sued the boyfriend, T-Mobile, the motherfucking bar. Boy, they said we suing everybody that had anything to do with my daughter's death. The whole situation that night getting sued. God damn, family. God damn. Riding hard for that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Mobile store where Mendoza was employed and the Tijuana taxi company. On May 4th.
Y'all gonna sue her job. We gonna sue you for hiring this bitch.
2015, 2 months after pleading guilty to 2 DUI manslaughter charges, Mendoza was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Mendoza was apologetic throughout the trial. When she heard her sentence,
Mendoza, you got off sly. 24 years, shit. You do good time, some shit, that's a life sentence.
her apology
Basically.
and crying intensified.
No matter how much time passes, I'm gonna live with that in my heart every day.
After her sentence, Mendoza will also serve 6 years of probation and is permanently banned from.
Are you looking for more in this world?
Permanently banned from what?
Then
That one bar?
Are looking for you. The big heart is
driving a motor vehicle.
Oh.
Mendoza's apologies and remorse showed that she may yet be saved. However, the same cannot be said for Adrian Dunn. This is Adrian Dunn, who is facing charges for murder in San Antonio. Adrian, an ex-convict, was sentenced for the murder of Rakeem Tariq Charles. Police said that Adrian shot Charles in the back during a drug deal in a parking lot on July 16, 2012.
Damn.
To make matters worse, this wasn't even Dunn's first encounter with law enforcement.
To prison twice for possessing a firearm after this murder. He committed another shooting a month before this murder. And he's shown zero remorse.
Prosecutors urged the jury to impose the maximum sentence, noting that Adrian had an extensive criminal history and had shown no remorse for the murder. Prosecutor Jason Goss can be seen here holding the hand of the victim's parents. Before arguing to the jury that a life sentence was necessary to prevent another family from suffering, as Charles' family had.
Her son, who has to suffer, and this family who has to suffer because of the defendant. And that's why we're asking you for a life sentence.
If you thought the crimes were horrendous, wait till you see how Adrian reacted to his sentence. Throughout the trial, Adrian showed no remorse and couldn't have been less concerned. He was found guilty of the crime. Still, his attorney argued that a sentence of 35 to 40 years would be more appropriate. His reasoning?
Don't give Adrian a chance to go into prison and try to make something of himself so that when he gets out, if he ever gets out, he will try to be
if he ever gets out.
However, the jury deliberated for just 2 hours before returning with a sentence of life in prison. As the jury's decision was read out, Adrian began to...
Boy, I would have heard my lawyer set that shit up right there. Got the, oh shit, I'm out.
Fight with Bexar County Sheriff's deputies attempting to escort him from the courtroom. Dunn's behavior was marked by profanity and outbursts. He was eventually subdued and removed from the court. Adrian's case can be termed a drug case gone bad. However, while he remains stoic and combative, there are other convicts who break down in court and feel genuine remorse for their actions, like in the case of Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves. This is Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves.
The bruises, some of the bruises were in the shape of a belt buckle.
Man, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say that
No crazy shit about me, man. No, man, because he's saying shit he don't even know, man.
He was facing charges for the murder of an infant in
Damn.
Michigan. The cause of death was physical abuse, which was later ruled as murder. The 4-year-old boy, Giovanni Mejias, was the son of Ortiz Nieves' girlfriend, Sonia Hernandez. Sonia claimed she had no involvement in the crime. However, her neighbor had a different side of the story.
Sonia was well aware. She was well aware of what was happening because she told him that was his responsibility to whoop them.
Ortiz Nieves denied abusing the boy, but the judge and prosecutors believe his beating the child resulted in his death. Kent County deputies reported that when they arrived at the Gaines Township trailer, where Ortiz Nieves was left to care for several children under 11, it was here that they found Giovanni left on the kitchen floor. An autopsy showed that Giovanni died from internal bleeding caused by an abdominal tear, which would have been caused by an adult, not a child. During the trial, Kent County Circuit Court Judge Mark Trusock can be heard condemning Ortiz Nieves' actions, reprimanding him in very strong words, and insisting that he should never be allowed out of prison.
You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see. That you committed this murder and that you beat this little boy to death.
The judge described the injuries suffered by Giovanni before his death, causing Ortiz Nieves to become upset and struggle with deputies, who had to remove him from the courtroom.
You had put cigarettes out on this poor little child.
Damn.
There's evidence of that from the pictures. Anybody says anything back there?
Ortiz Nieves was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole and was given a sentence of 80 to 150 years for first-degree child abuse. Ortiz Nieves' reaction might suggest that he is guilty. However, this wasn't the only time a convict reacted emotionally to their sentence.
Damn. Y'all, we're gonna call it a break right there and shit. Part 1. Part 2 coming soon. Shit. Paused it at the good time. That boy ugly as fuck. Hey, y'all. Peace out, man.